احنا سعداء جدا.
We are glad to be here at the Aqsa Mosque. We also feel that the mosque itself is glad to have the happy kids and parents. We hope this mosque will be freed soon and all Muslims will have the chance to visit it and pray.
Eid al-Fitr is celebrated as a day of joy and happiness, fun and frolic, pleasure and gaiety in every nook and corner of Muslim world including Jerusalem. Here people put their misery and sorrow aside, living the joyfulness of the Eid.
For those who didn't fast during the holy month of Ramadan, it's a day of sorrow. But for the others who fast the holy month of Ramadan, Eid al-Fitr is a day of happiness and celebrations. For KSA2, this is Mirbat Abu Saudi from Jerusalem. Al-Quds.
You're watching KSA2 coming up after a short break. Thousands of angry protesters in the cities of Afghanistan and Pakistan march against a possible burning of the Quran.
Residents. They are a reflection of one's culture and taste. Marbles that decorate cities and give them their unique identities. Amazing architecture coming your way on KSA2.
Welcome back. After 70 years of communism, which bulldozed most religious and ethnic traditions in Russia, all faiths nowadays have a full freedom of worship. It also concerns the Russian Muslims who commemorate the ending of the month of Ramadan. More details in the following report.
Eid prayer consists of a sermon followed by a short congregational prayer. After the Eid prayer, same as everywhere in Muslim world, Russian Muslims usually scatter to visit various families and friends, make phone calls to distant relatives to give well wishes for the holiday. These activities traditionally continue for 3 days. In Russia, the entire 3-day period isn't declared as official government or school holiday, but it doesn't abolish the celebration of the holy months and
Ramadan is the third pillar of Islam and a duty for each Muslim. In Pakistan, it's an official holiday, and we will commemorate it. I will visit friends and acquaintances in mosque I will call relatives. There will be a festive table at home and we will celebrate with the family.
In Arabic, Eid stands for festivity and Fitr means to break the fast. Ramadan stresses prayers, fasting, charity and self-control. During this month-long fast, believers refrain from eating and drinking from sunrise till sunset. And when the 30 days are over, Eid al-Fitr takes off. This is a time of joy with important religious significance for Muslims. It's a time of giving and sharing. Special attention is given to those in need. Money and food are handed out to the poor and the lonely.
The trial of the fast is now behind us, and Muslims strengthened by faith are greeting the holiday with happiness and striving toward kindness and godliness.
Tradition has it that a Muslim should give away 1/40 of what he owns to those in need during the holiday. It is believed that during Eid al-Fitr, all is forgiven. The young visit the old, presents are exchanged, and big meals are given.
I spend the holy month in the circle of the family. We are fasting with the whole family and taking the opportunity. I congratulate all brothers Muslims with the ending of Ramadan and I wish all strong faith to everyone.
It isn't known exactly how many Muslims live in Russia, but most sources suggest between 20 and 30 million. It is believed the number of Muslims in Moscow is growing fast. As so many Russian regions, especially in the Caucasus, the end of Ramadan declared as the official day of work. Marina Kartonova for KSA2, Moscow.
Thousands of angry protesters marched in cities across Pakistan and Afghanistan Friday against a possible burning of the Quran. Terry Jones was a pastor from a religious center in Gainesville, Florida, triggered international outrage last month when he announced he would burn the Quran on the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks. In Afghanistan, at least 11 people were injured in protest. The head of NATO, which is leading a nearly 9-year-old war in Afghanistan against the Taliban, also condemned the pastor's pronouncements. Meanwhile, U.S. President Barack Obama on Friday appealed for religious tolerance, reminding Americans that the overwhelming majority of Muslims around the world are peace-loving people.
I think it is absolutely important now for the overwhelming majority of the American people to hang on to that thing that is best in us. A belief in religious tolerance, clarity about
Its celebrations are being marked, finally, celebrations are being marked all across the world. We will go to New York City, the recent hotbed for a continuing debate on the tolerance and rule of Muslims in the West, to learn how locals are observing the holiday. More details in the following report.
Although Muslims make up a small minority of the U.S. population, Eid is one of the most colorful and widely celebrated holidays of the year around the nation. Just like in the Muslim world, gifts are exchanged, tasty special plates are polished off eagerly by young and old alike, friends and families reunite, and homes are bathed in light. And since worshippers here represent a variety of ethnicities and nationalities, cultures and cuisines, the festivities over the years have become truly a unique multicultural experience for all Americans to enjoy. While Eid al-Fitr is not a federal holiday in the U.S., many Muslim businesses alter their hours or close down shop, and many children attending public schools take off to stay at home. Many, like Ziad Ramadan, president of the board of the Council on American-Islamic Relations, are especially happy that this year's festivities coincide with the end of the work week, so that they can enjoy a long weekend of prayers, community gatherings, and unique family excursions without having to miss too much work or school.
We go to our morning prayer. I mean, that's sort of something that everybody does, go to the morning prayer on Eid al-Fitr. And then we spend time with our families. We wear our best clothing. We try to, dine well with our families, and we try to spend time together. We give presents to children and our wives and daughters, and then we also do something that may be a little bit different, and that is sometimes we rent out amusement parks, and there might be tens of thousands of Muslims who go to an amusement park and to celebrate the end of the holidays. But we do things like that.
Eid in America this year, however, will have extra special meaning. With the country embroiled in a bitter debate regarding the building of a mosque near Ground Zero, the concern of rising Islamophobia, and the holiday weekend coinciding with the observance of 9/11, Muslims like Ramadan, a proud New Yorker, hope that they can use the occasion to show how Islam is a religion of peace.
What the Muslim community is going to do is probably put out press releases and talk about what Eid al-Fitr represents and connecting it to the lunar month of Ramadan, and tell people what Muslims do during Eid al-Fitr, which is celebrate for several days with their families in traditional ways, just like they do in other monotheistic faiths. So we want to make sure that we define what that represents and they don't misconstrue that it has anything to do with 9/11.
Now locally here in the city, there are several food fairs, cultural activities, and parades taking place over the next few days. For KSA2, I'm Shruti Mather in New York City, wishing you a very happy Eid.
That was the last item. Now to the headlines. The custodians at the Holy Mosque performed Eid al-Fitr prayer at the Holy Mosque and received the Lebanese Prime Minister and other princes and officials. The custodians of the Holy Mosques arrived in Jeddah after spending several days of the holy month of Ramadan next to the Holy Mosque. The custodians of the Holy Mosques and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince received more cable of congratulations on the advent of Eid al-Fitr. Muslims around the world celebrate this day of Eid al-Fitr. That's all from now. Happy Eid for all of you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
United States gathered for prayers today to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, or the end of the holy month of Ramadan. Worshippers gathered in mosques in New York City and Washington, D.C. a day before the anniversary of the September 11th attacks. The Imam of the Islamic Cultural Center of New York said the celebrations were changed to commemorate the victims of the attacks. Eid celebrations around the world were also marked by angry protesters against a possible burning of the book Muslims embrace as a word of God, the Quran.